So, Chloe has finally caught her first Pokemon, and it's a mysterious Eevee that's being called special. What does this mean for Chloe and Eevee's future? Hey everyone, it's Mark. In episode 49 of Pokémon Journeys, we saw Chloe catch her first ever Pokémon and officially become a Pokémon trainer. This is far from the first time we've seen someone catch an Eevee in the anime, but apparently this one is special, so at least there's that. The reason this Eevee is considered special is because it won't evolve, or at least it just hasn't evolved, yet. Before Chloe caught it, this Eevee lived at the Eeveelution lab in Vermilion City. As you might be able to guess, this place studies Eeveelution. They even have one of each Eeveelution at the place. However, all of their attempts to get this Eevee to evolve have failed. Why? That's what I'm here to answer today. I have 4 possibilities in mind for what makes this Eevee special. And then I just want to talk in general about what catching this Eevee means for Chloe's future in Pokemon Journeys. Let's get started by talking about the first possibility. Okay, so if you watched my review video for episode 49, I said in that video that my leading theory as to why this Eevee cannot evolve is because it has the Gigantamax Factor. We may not have seen it in this episode, but it's possible that this Eevee is capable of Gigantamaxing. In case you're not super familiar with the mechanics of how this works in the games, every Pokemon in Sword and Shield, besides Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus, is capable of Dynamaxing, but only certain species of Pokemon are capable of Gigantamaxing. Furthermore, these individual Pokemon have to possess the Gigantamax Factor in order to evolve. This can either be obtained naturally, or you can give a Pokemon the Gigantamax Factor through Max Soup. So far in Pokemon Journeys, every Pokemon that has been capable of Gigantamaxing has, and the concept of only certain Pokemon having the Gigantamax Factor hasn't been introduced yet. In general, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding Dynamax and Gigantamax in the anime, so there's still a lot to learn on the subject, even for the so-called experts on the matter. Okay, so why does any of this matter anyway? Good question. In the games, Pikachu, Meowth, and Eevee that have the Gigantamax Factor cannot evolve. That's just a fact. So, theoretically, the reason Chloe's Eevee isn't capable of evolving is because it has the Gigantamax Factor. To try and add a little more context to this possibility, let's look at Ash's Pikachu and Meowth from Team Rocket. As we've seen in Pokemon Journeys, each of these two can Gigantamax. So, if we're using this Gigantamax Factor theory, then neither of those two can evolve. As far as I can tell, we haven't seen anything in the anime to prove that these two can or cannot evolve, and considering they've each been in the anime and seemingly fully capable of evolving since the very start, which was way back in 1997, then it would be such a huge retcon to say today in 2020 that the reason they haven't evolved is because they have the Gigantamax Factor. Pikachu evolving into Raichu has actually been a recurring story in the anime, coming up as recently as episode 35 in Pokemon Journeys. In every instance this storyline comes up, Ash and Pikachu have told us that Pikachu doesn't want to evolve. But it seems like if Pikachu were ever to come in contact with a Thunderstone, then he actually would evolve. As we saw with Chloe's Eevee, even physically touching a Thunderstone, which activates its evolution into Jolteon, was not enough to actually get it to evolve. So, if Pikachu ever came into contact with a Thunderstone, would it have the same reaction? I doubt we'll ever find out, and the closest we'll get was way back in episode 14 of the original series when Pikachu slaps a Thunderstone out of Ash's hand. After rewatching this footage tons of times, it's kind of inconclusive whether or not Pikachu actually touches the Thunderstone or not. But again, like I said earlier, this episode took place over 2 decades ago, so something like the Gigantamax Factor wasn't even an idea in anyone's mind yet. It's possible that in the future, Chloe will travel with Ash and Go to Galar and her Eevee will end up Gigantamaxing. Maybe this will explain why it can't evolve. Or maybe it won't evolve for a different reason.
あるいは進むべき道が定まらなくて迷っているのか。迷ってる。 科学者らしくない見解だけどね。
As it was hypothesized in episode 49 of Pokemon Journeys, maybe this Eevee is just hesitant and hasn't fully decided yet on what path it wants to take in life. Back when we saw it living at the Eevee Evolution Lab, it would often mimic the Eeveelutions and imagine what it may look and act like if it were to evolve into one of them. I guess we could say that Chloe's Eevee wants to evolve, but as we saw in the episode, it just didn't quite fit in with any of the paths it saw in front of it. So maybe it's just indecisive. But one day, it will make up its mind, and that's when Chloe's Eevee will evolve. I don't know. Like the scientist said in the episode, this isn't exactly a scientific hypothesis, or at least there's no scientific proof that this is why Eevee won't evolve. However, it would be in line with Chloe's story, so that's what makes it a legitimate possibility. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're pretty familiar with Chloe's story so far through 49 episodes of Pokemon Journeys, and are aware that she doesn't know what path she wants to take in her own life yet. So how fitting would it be for her first ever Pokemon to be the same way? It seems like by the end of Pokemon Journeys, Chloe will have decided what she wants to do with her life, whether that be to follow in her father's footsteps as a Pokemon researcher, or do something totally different. Who knows? Regardless of her choice, it could coincide with Eevee's evolution. Maybe once Chloe decides on her own dream, then her Eevee will also figure out what it wants to do, and that's when it will evolve. I think this is a little too cheesy and on the nose to be the actual reason why Chloe's Eevee won't evolve, but it is a possibility. On to the third possibility at what makes this Eevee so special, and this is a pretty quick one. Simply put, this Eevee could be a partner Eevee, just like the one the player character gets in Let's Go Eevee. In that game, the starter Pokemon is an Eevee, kind of like how this Eevee has become Chloe's starter Pokemon. And kind of like how Pikachu is to Ash and Cinderace is to Go, it seems pretty likely that Eevee is going to become Chloe's main partner, so it is a partner Eevee in one way already. Going back to the game mechanics from Let's Go Eevee, the partner Eevee in this game could not evolve, so that would explain why Chloe's Eevee can't either. It's also capable of having a unique appearance, but we haven't seen anything like that for Chloe's Eevee yet. Plus, Sandy's haircut was supposed to be a reference to that in Sun and Moon. Additionally, the partner Eevee in Let's Go Eevee is capable of learning some unique moves. All of them have ridiculous names, and one of them is called Buzzy Buzz, a special electric type attack. In the episode that Chloe catches Eevee, it does use an electric type attack, however, I think we can pretty easily write this off as not being Buzzy Buzz, as it's much more likely to be a copying Yamper's Spark as a result of knowing Copycat. This is not only because Copycat is a move all Eevee can legitimately learn, but also because we saw Eevee trying to copy the other Eeveelutions, and when it was with Yamper, it seemed to be copying its movements as well. But who knows, if we ever see this thing pull off a Sizzly Slide or any of the other partner Eevee moves, then maybe we can say that Chloe's Eevee is actually a partner Eevee. Again, it's unlikely, but still a possibility. The final possibility is something I actually joked about in my episode 49 review video, and that was how this Eevee could one day evolve into a new Eeveelution, such as Ghostion. Ooh, mysterious. Okay, but for real, we know that the anime likes to tease new Pokemon by having a main character catch one a generation early, such as Misty's Togepi or May's Munchlax. So maybe Chloe's Eevee could be a way to tease Generation 9 by evolving into a new type of Eeveelution that will debut in the Gen 9 games. There are plenty of types left for Eevee to evolve into, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if new Eeveelutions continue to emerge. Just look at some of the specific language used in episode 49. There are so far 8 confirmed evolutions for Eevee, so there's still room for more. And as we've seen with all of the other Eeveelutions, they each require a different stipulation to evolve. And so, maybe Chloe's Eevee is just waiting to meet the new stipulation required to evolve into a Draconion or whatever it'll evolve into. Again, I don't particularly think this possibility is very likely, since it's not like a new Eeveelution would prevent Chloe's Eevee from evolving in the first place. In the games, it's possible to have an Eevee that meets multiple evolution requirements at once, such as leveling up an Eevee with high friendship at night next to an ice rock while knowing a fairy type move and having high affection. However, if we pair this possibility with the idea that Chloe's Eevee is yet to decide on the path it wants to take, then maybe it makes a little more sense. After all, maybe Chloe's dream hasn't even presented itself as a possibility yet, kind of like how a new Eeveelution doesn't seem possible yet. In the future, maybe whatever Chloe decides to do will be related in some way to a new Eeveelution. If her own Eevee evolves into a never-before-seen Pokemon, maybe that will inspire her to go on and become a Pokemon researcher. Who knows? And there you have it. Those are the 4 possibilities I can think of as to why this mysterious Eevee is so special and cannot evolve. Regardless of what happens with Eevee, at least Chloe will be more prominent in Pokémon Journeys. Season 1 of Journeys was all about building Ash and Go Up to be the 2 heroes in the Darkest Day story arc, but now that that's over, maybe Chloe's role will start to increase. We don't know what her ultimate goal or path in life will be, but finding that out is the crux of her story and character, so it's totally fine for her to be like this for a while still. Maybe Eevee will help her find her way, and maybe their paths will be interconnected. Let me know what you guys think about my ideas in the comments. Tell me which of the 4 possibilities I outlined is most likely to happen, as well as any of your ideas about Chloe and her Eevee. And do you guys think Chloe will catch any more Pokemon, or will she stick with Eevee as her only official Pokemon, with Yamper also kind of being there too? By the way, what does any of this mean for Yamper? We can't let this new Eevee get in the way of everyone's favorite electric dog thing. It wouldn't surprise me if Yamper got jealous of Eevee one day, but for now, everyone is getting along just great. Thanks so much for watching this video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, this has been Elite Trainer Mark, and I'll see you guys next time.